Hello, it's Sabrina. So today we are going to do episode 3 of Surrogacy. So the topic today, am I crazy? Most people would say yes, but we're talking about the psychological exam for being a surrogate. So last week we talked about me meeting my baby daddies, and I'm so excited about that. So this week we're going to talk about what happened in my journey, which is the psychological exam. Now, I can't talk about anything in particular because I told the psychologist that I have a YouTube channel, so he kind of gave me some pointers on what I can and can't say, which was great. But I can give you some tips and tricks in regards to the general process. So let's start with that. So just like you guys, I had no idea what to expect. And I mean, I'm not a type of person to get nervous, but I was a little uneasy, I guess I would say. And so then after we officially got matched and I had the meeting with my coordinator, which my coordinator is awesome, so helpful, answers any questions, very personable. And that's what I've noticed in this process that, like I've talked about before, that sometimes like you just match just so well with an agency. And it took me 5 agencies to get here to this point where I feel like I'm at the place with the people I'm supposed to be with, right? And so my coordinator is awesome. So then he gave me the information and give the psychologist my information so we could link up and do my psychological exam. So the psychologist contacts me and we have like a brief phone conversation about when we should have our meeting so that we can do this about 2-hour exam. He said it shouldn't be called an exam, that it's more like an interview or getting to know me, right? And so we scheduled that, and that was this past Sunday, and that it was about 2 hours, maybe 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it was very chill. I had like a little like unknown type worry before I had that conversation with him on the phone, and then once I talked to him on the phone, I was like, this is nothing to worry about. Like, he was very personable. It made me feel like real chill, like I was just talking to one of my friends or whatever, you know? And so then we had the interview, exam, whatever you want to call it, on Sunday, and it's kind of a multitasking situation. So I'm on video with him on a video call on like a secured app for health situations, and then I have my laptop next to me with questionnaire type thing going on that, and so he's typing his report of me after we have conversations. He asks me questions here or there, I answer and things like that, and then I'm answering these questions as well. So there are a lot of questions, but it's mostly like repetitive because they want to see like, okay, she answered completely the opposite on this question than she did on this question, but it's the exact same question, like reworded, you know? So they just want to make sure that you're being honest. And my personal tips in regards to this is just, first of all, be honest, of course, with everything. But second of all, if you're looking at a question where you're like, well, this kind of applies, but this kind of doesn't apply, I found that he was very helpful in regards to that. And at first I thought that like I wasn't supposed to ask questions, even though he was cool, you know? Like I was just like, oh, I'm just supposed to do this, like it's a test, like I'm in high school again, right? But that's not the case at all. So then like maybe halfway through he was like, so you don't have like any like comments on the questions? And I was like, he was like, usually people like talk about this question or that question, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that like I could do that. He was like, yeah, like we could just sit in here talking. So like through the questions, like he would randomly be like, so how do you feel about this? Or so how was this in your life, or whatever, you know, just like random questions. And then I could stop this and answer him or answer while I was doing like the questionnaire. So it was really chill environment, right? And I noticed that when I did comment on a question or be like, I don't know what they mean by this. Am I supposed to answer this way or include this in regards to my past? Then he would help me out. And also that kind of puts in his mind like, oh, okay, she was thinking about it like this when she answered this way. So when he's reviewing the test, then he can be like, oh, okay, well, like that's why she answered that way, you know? And then he can put that in his report, and then make a more accurate report of me and whether he like recommends me for surrogacy or not, you know? So that was positive. And it was a really chill atmosphere, and that's kind of like what I wanted to get across, that the main thing is to be honest, and if you're not sure about a question, just ask, you know? Like if he asks a question and you're not sure about how to respond to that question, ask a question about how you're supposed to answer it or whatever, you know? He just wants to know that you're not just trying to appease him, you know? Like if you give honest opinions, reviews, you know, about different things that you're talking about that might not be the norm, you know, that kind of shows him like, oh, okay, like she's not trying to impress me, she's just being honest, you know? So that will take you a long way. Yeah, so I think I talked about everything that I need to talk about. So I have not got my results back from my coordinator yet, but I think that the entire process of the psychological exam went very well. And I think that we had a good connection, me and the psychologist, and it was just a real good vibe. So I think that is going to be no hurdle in regards to my surrogacy journey. So our next step in the surrogacy journey would be the medical appointment. I think the medical appointment. So I do the first medical appointment where I get a lot of blood drawn and a couple other things like that. And then after that medical screening, then we go to legal, and legal is where we make sure that we're both on the same page, me and my baby daddies. And then after that, I start giving myself shots for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And then I'm pregnant. I should be pregnant by around January. So stay tuned for that. So I just wanted to give you guys this kind of synopsis of the psychological exam, because I know a lot of surrogates are going to be like going crazy, like, are they gonna approve me, or this is so stressful? Please know that my view on it was just like, so he is independent. He is not hired, or he is not a part of any agency, right? Agencies hire him to do this, which means he gets paid by the agencies, but he's independent. However, if he continuously says no to surrogates who want to be surrogates, and an agency has already put in money and time and effort into a surrogate that he says no to, and then he says no about this one, and he says no about this one, then they're going to be like, I'm going to get a new psychologist because he's costing me money, you know? So I don't think that any of these psychologists are just going to like randomly say, I don't like her because of this, because it's kind of going to wear on their reputation as well if they're just saying no to a person because of personal reasons or your political views or whatever, you know? So I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. Just be honest, be consistent, and ask questions if you're not sure about something that's going on in your exam or interview. So that's all I have to say to you guys for today, and I will see you in our next episode. Bye.